Salute, salute, salute. Wow. Right on time with the AC, man. It's critically hot outside. Y'all stay hydrated, you know what I'm saying? It's nocturnal. Salute to everybody out there in the YouTube boxing universe. Real quick video, then I'm gonna get out the way. Fight week, final prediction, final thoughts before the big fight on the 29th. So, first of all, I want to say, I got a few new subscribers in the last couple of weeks, and a lot of great comments, a lot of great logical, people from the community. Because it's like when it's Errol, Spence, and Terrance Crawford broke, you just seen a whole bunch of new channels pop up. And you can kind of tell when they a little newer because they subscribe base be a little smaller, 200, 300, 500, 1,000, 2,000. My channel is very small, 2,000. But you get a lot of new eyes on your channel. And a lot of y'all, man, I really appreciate y'all. I salute y'all. I appreciate y'all coming and leaving the comments and chopping it up about some boxing and showing support, showing love. And even if you disagree, when y'all got a lot of respect and y'all, y'all add to the game, y'all add to the content, y'all add y'all, y'all throw in y'all ingredients, it just makes everything taste a whole lot better, a whole lot, sweeter, spicier, hotter, whatever you like, we'll have it. When you put in the right combinations, the right ingredients. Some people that's new to the channel, I'm not gonna lie, some of y'all, when y'all was younger, y'all went to go get y'all physical, the doctor put his cold hands down on your testicles, told you to turn your head to the left, to the right, cough 2 times. And he had a strange look on his face. He said, turn your head and cough again for me, please. And he said, Houston, we have a problem. Some of y'all, your balls didn't drop. You know what I'm saying? Your testes, baby, please, did not drop. Now, with that out the way, Errol Spence versus Terrance Crawford, man, I look at this fight, it's just all about the angles. You know what I'm saying? And nobody, no matter how many ways you look at it, all scenarios and all these different dimensions, and you mathematically and break it down, it's just all about the angles and trying to see the unseen. And you cannot see everything. That's why you have to stay prayed up, because God is omnipresent. He's omnipotent. So if you put your life in God's hands, you're not going to be able to see everything, but God got your back. He got your front. He got you all the way around. But it's all about the angles. It reminds me of Carlito's Way. This is Nocturnal's Way. Carlito's Way had all these angles figured out from being so street savvy, so street smart. You know what I'm saying? He covered all his angles to the best of his ability. He went and tied up the loose ends when his lawyer betrayed him. He made sure he wouldn't finish that business with his lawyer and took him out the game. He took out all his enemies when he took out the boss, and the boss sent his goons, sent his hitmen, his lynchmen. They chased him around the whole subway. He took them all out one by one. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make it to paradise with Gail. The one angle he didn't see coming with his cousin Pachanga and Billy Blanco from the Bronx caught him right at the end. He just didn't see it coming. It surprised him, and it took him out. And it took everybody that was watching that movie for the first time. It surprised them too. And this fight is similar to that, because boxing is the theater of the unexpected. You never know what's going to happen. Anything can and will happen. You know what I'm saying? You can't see all the angles. But we've looked at this from different lenses and different angles and different perspectives for years. Everybody had time to really analyze and assess and theorize and do hypotheticals and all these different experiments. We've seen them have common opponents It's Sean Porter and Kell Brook, and then we didn't look into Sean Porter and his factors and his angles, all of his angles in and outside the ring in preparation for both fighters. We looked at Kell Brook and his angles in and outside the ring and all of his journey to lead up to Bud Crawford and to Errol Spence. All they resume, who they fought and who they fought and who they fought and who they fought. We've seen through them at 5 or 6 degrees of separation. We've learned so much about boxing looking at Errol Spence versus Terrance Bud Crawford coming into, you know what I'm saying, the physical world and busting, you know what I'm saying, Big Bang Theory, creating this universe. We've seen all these different stars collide in the universe, and now it's time for the Big Bang. And it's like, what's the things we haven't seen? We've seen a lot from Terrance Bud Crawford. We've seen him in there with Ricky Burns and Hank Lundy, and we've seen him in there with Undango. We've seen him in there with Agitas Kavalauskas and Amir Khan. We've seen him in there with Sean Porter. We've seen him in there with Kell Brook. We've seen him in there with all his competitors combined. Jose Benavidez, Jeff Horn. We've seen all of that. We've seen Errol Spence in there with Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Chris Van Heerden, Chris Algieri, and all of his competitors. And we looked at inside the ring and outside the ring. We've seen Errol Spence go through his car wreck, his eye retina issue. We've heard about Terrance Bud Crawford getting shot in the back of the head after a dice game. We've seen him go through his childhood and triumph and overcome the ills of the ghetto. We've seen all of their life be on full display. We've seen their combinations. We've seen their style, their craft, they punch selection, they pull counters, they hooks, they uppercuts, they jabs, they crosses, they weird angle punches that you don't see coming. We've seen them switching. We've seen the unstoppable force of a juggernaut in Errol Spence. We've seen the dynamic, fluid, Bruce Lee style of Terrance Bud Crawford. It all comes down to one fight. What's going to prevail? What's going to reign supreme and be victorious? Shouts out to all my new subscribers. Shouts out to all the YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to and who gave me a proper salute. It's people that I don't like necessarily, I don't know them, but it's people that I don't like their personality as much, but they picking Errol Spence, and I listen to their logic and I understand where they're coming from. So this fight has made even guys that will probably be enemies, where you have to agree with your enemies. It's guys that I do like and respect for years that ride with Terrance Bud Crawford, and I hear everything they got to say, and I don't agree with them on this subject. So this fight has made my friends, I had to disagree with people that I find I have more in common with, the people that I respect. So this fight just encapsulates everything. At the end of the day, it's only 2 men that can fight. We've seen Bo Mack, we've seen Derrick James, we've seen who they've trained, and shouts out to all of their fighters they've trained in the past, Maurice Hooker and Amir Khan. We've seen Derrick James work with Jermell Charlo and Frank Martin, and now Ryan Garcia and Anthony Joshua. We've seen all of this, and it boils down to one fight. And my prediction is, I agree with Derrick James. Errol Spence is going to go to work and he's going to get the job done in one way or another way. I think Terrance Bud Crawford is going to have a lot of success, and he will not disappoint his fan base or his hometown. I think when he does the most damage, if he does go in for the kill, I think that would be to his demise. I think overall, the work rate of Errol Spence will win him this fight. The determination and the grit. They both have grit, they both have heart, they both have testicular fortitude, they both have it all as far as the mojo. But I feel like Errol Spence in this fight, no pun intended. I just think he oh man, wrong moment. Time to wrap it up. I think he carries the most weight. You know what I'm saying? I think he is going to be dominant at the end of the day. I think he's going to be victorious at the end of the day, and I think he's going to step. At the end of the day, big stepper, the big fish, Megalodon, all those different little aliases. But I think Terrance Bud Crawford, even in defeat, he's still going to be able to hold his head high. And let me say this for the record, it's still a 50-50 fight, and Terrance Bud Crawford does have a path to victory. Terrance Bud Crawford can win this fight, and I take nothing away from Terrance Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand when people look at this fight and just say there's no way for either fighter to win when it's a 50-50 fight. I see paths of victory for Terrance Bud Crawford as well. But when I play out the scenarios from my perspective and the perspective I've been able to journey to and look from, I've come out with more scenarios that lean towards Errol Spence being victorious, really one way or another way. I'm not going to say guaranteed ironclad knockout, but for the most part, by decision or by a knockout or by TKO. You know what I'm saying? And that's to keep it sort of generic, because Terrance Bud Crawford, I feel like he could win by a knockout, you know, because he has one punch power. But I don't see that happening in this fight. I see in this fight, I feel like it's going to pan out to where Terrance Bud Crawford is going to have his moments, and then within those moments, you're going to see Errol Spence rise above those moments, crash down, and wash away the opponent. You know what I'm saying? Those are my opinion. Those are my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. With all due respect, all my new subscribers, I salute. And like I said, anybody that's still sort of on Similac and still going through puberty and still, you know what I'm saying, learning how to be a man or a woman, I know y'all gonna come with some disrespectful comments. That's cool to a certain extent. I'll tolerate it to a certain extent. And then it's kind of like bon voyage. I'm not gonna deal with just ridiculousness on top of ridiculousness. Everybody needs to really grow up and man up and woman up in this world. You need to woman up, you know what I'm saying? And stop looking at this like you fighting in there. You ain't fighting in there. Them two men fighting in there. We not fighting in there. I'm not fighting in there. You know, I'm like Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson was like, man, tell you the truth, I don't even like fighting. Y'all know that? Sugar Ray Robinson, man, I don't even like fighting. He just do what he gotta do to pay the bills. And that's what most of us do. We just do what we have to do to pay the bills. You dig? This is Nocturnal Thoughts, man. Appreciate y'all time. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Salute, salute, salute. Wow.